All right, we've done our part. Let's get to our first stage, but to throw you a little bit of a curveball, stage one, not just one game, not just 2 games, but 3 games in stage one. Here's Andrea to introduce the first one.
That's right, Jordan. This is going to be so exciting, you guys. All right, Nintendo World Championships 2017. Are you guys ready to find out what the first game is? All right, let's find out.
Ella me estresa.
Stage 1, game 1.
No se ve como la otra.
No, todo el mundo callado, solo que me juguete.
Esa fue la expresión de la gente que nos van a poner.
The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. In this wide world of adventure, the hero Link must complete many unexpected tasks, much like our players in this competition. And the first one is Shields Up and Surfs Up. Any hero of legend worth their salt can ride a shield, but which of our fearless competitors is the shield surfing master? Time will tell. Each player will be scored based on their time at Selmy Spot. May the way of the hero lead to shield surfing glory.
The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Selmy's Shield Surfing. Let's take a look at the rules for our first game in stage 1. Here's how things will work out. We're looking for the fastest time down the mountain. Players are ranked based on their finishing time. Points are earned based on rank. So for example, if you're first place, you're going to get yourself 24 points. Second place, 23 points, all the way down to 24th place and 1 point. However, you have 3 minutes to finish this in 1 attempt. If you do not finish it in 3 minutes, that's 0 points. If for some reason you're Link and you run out of hearts, that's 0 points as well too. So these players certainly going to have to carve their way down the mountain. And Audrey, you look at Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, one of the most expansive adventures that we ever put our thumbs on, and you look at what these players might be facing when it comes time for shield surfing.
And that's the thing, you may know your way around a Master Sword, but you're nothing in Hyrule unless you're proficient with shield surfing. And these players are going to have to do the same thing that Link does. They're going to have to be quick on that shield, they're going to have to use the paraglider well, and they're going to have to choose between the easier route that's a little bit slower and the faster route.
Very good points, and more than obviously 24 players and 16 advancing. What's going through these players' minds as we talk about risk reward as far as maybe taking a challenging but quicker route? A little bit more conservative.
This is their game, is this what they're just going to make sure they finish and avoid that dreaded 0 points.
Let's get set to kick off the Nintendo World Championships. The players are set to go. So players, ready, go! We oftentimes talk about a very fast
Así como la gente se saca, vamos a ver, se saca la mugre aquí, básicamente así es cuando jugamos en Utopia.
Everyone's getting queued up as well too. You want to make sure that they're comfortable with the controls. A lot of things that Link can do on this shield. You want to make sure, as we said, you get off to a good start. That gives you a precious second.
And it's true, you mentioned every second, every decision counts in here. So if you don't get on that shield right away and get right down that slope, you might not find yourself on top.
It's very true, and a lot of different things Link can do, and obviously you want to make sure as well too, Morgan, that you're comfortable with the way that you're going. This isn't necessarily the stage to try something brand new.
Yeah, I think our competitors are going to find out right away that when you're in this kind of pressure, your thumbs don't work the way they usually do. And you're going to have a little input lag between your brain and your hands. So they might take the first few moments just to make sure they know what they're doing before they start really trying to push that time.
We continue to get things dialed in down there, making sure all of our players are comfortable and ready to go, make sure our officials are ready to go, because you're going to get a lot of players here, Audrey, finishing within the same time frame. Our judges have to make sure that they record that time, because that could be the difference between 1, 2, 3, even 4 points.
That's true. This comes down to the millisecond. If everybody's going down a similar path or making different decisions, it could be wildly different. We're going to have to see what happens.
Now, Morgan, personally, I have to ask you, how good of a shield surfer are you? I know you've had your hands on this before.
You know, I actually love, I was a snowboarder growing up, I did that a lot, so I actually love this. And I like that this sport takes a shield, which I think that shields are kind of boring, you know? I mean, how fun is it to block somebody, but you throw that on the ground and jump on top of it and you're surfing, now we're having fun.
Yeah, I like to block some line null attacks as well, too, make sure that doesn't get to me. You mentioned this stage. It's one of the most competitive players here, and it looks like that we are set to go for Zelda, Shield Surfing, our first game in stage 1. The players are ready, the officials are ready, so let's kick it down to you to start things off.
Estaría igual, y yo también.
You see the 12 box on the screen right now. It's all about the time that the game clock shows you, so they might start at different times. But we see right now, Sunny K at the top of your screen, struggling to get the start, but Kyle W having no issues whatsoever, and that's a strong start right here, Audrey.
Absolutely. We already see some people, they're doing tricks, they're feeling good, so these people that we're seeing, this is the first time Shield Surfing.
You're on a big stage, why not show off? Meanwhile, Bailey trying to just explore some of the agriculture in Hyrule right now, hopping back on that shield. Marco R looking like they've got no issue whatsoever. And Anthony, watch out for that move! Morgan runs into some wildlife right there.
Yeah, nobody told the moves of the wolves when there's competition going on. So we got
keep an eye on Austin in your top right, doing a fine job making his way down the mountain, no issues whatsoever. And Tuberon as well too, doing just a fantastic job.
It's true, they're doing a great job of finding the good down flips. That's where you're really going to shave off the seconds here.
Austin showing off, doing some tricks right now, trying to avoid some rolls. So that there's a lot of this could be a tricky for some Austin though, going on the paraglider and pulling out the sword. Keep an eye on Kyle W right now, and Morgan, we saw these people going this route, using the paraglider and going perpendicular to the finish line.
Yeah, I think this is a good strategy right here. And the paraglider, gives you a chance to sort of spot that finish line. But also when you're in the air, you're going slower, so you can't spend too much time up there getting your bearings.
And it looks like Dan S is our first finisher as we hear the whistle go, but we're waiting for the other 11 to go. Still carving his way across the finish line, 132. That'll be a solid time, and don't forget, there's a 3-minute time cap. Let's check in with Anthony right now. Anthony seems like he's on the straight and narrow path, looking at those 2 goals, and here we see early on, Audrey, that risk reward paying off for some players.
Absolutely, we saw there, running out of stamina is a real danger there, but they made it work, and they got a great time.
Anthony, though, going by Lizelle, and that finishes right there. That's a finish right there as well, too. John Numbers finishing as well, too, so already kind of on top, half of these 12 competitors crossing the finish line. However, Morgan, unfortunately, some of our players, they're getting stuck, but it's important to finish underneath that 3-minute cap.
Exactly, yeah. As long as you finish, you're going to get something. 24th place is worth 1 point, not
What you doing?
0.
Stop.
Austin's got about 45 seconds to try and find the finish. Plenty of time. You might as well get as many points as possible. His first stage. However, Audrey, tick, tick. You got to start being a little concerned about what's happening.
The important thing to remember is that these players might be amazing in some other game, but Shield Surfing might not be.
Bailey's on the last round right there, a quarter of a heart left. Austin still trying to find the right path. It's not too late yet, but Link taking the seat right down. Right here, hits the wall though. Why not go climbing for a little bit? Gotta be persistent though, and this is the difficulty we've talked about here, Morgan. Sometimes this, with the weather and you talk about this drop, you can get a little disoriented.
Yeah, exactly. You might think you know the way from point A to point B, but then you got to loosen your way and you go the direction.
And that is the 3-minute cap, so players who have not finished yet, unfortunately, will get a 0. However, some impressive times that we saw there. Finishing in the top 4 as well, too. So not bad for the first game in this first stage, but we saw, going back to that term,
Didn't pay off.
And you look at some of these jumps, some of them are a little bit small that you can manage. Others that you need that paraglider for. Really got off the main track, looking for something interesting, found themselves in
It's downhill, it's funneling, and then you find a dead end.
or you run into a moose. That happens as well too. As we're transitioning to our next 12 players, let's take a look at the leaderboard after that first round of Selmy's Shield Surfing and Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And Cole, Dan, Marco, Kyle, those are your top 4. Meanwhile, Bailey, Austin, unfortunately not getting any points, but John Numbers finishing 9th. Keep an eye on him, your 2015 champion. So, as we discussed, we saw John Numbers finish with a fairly good time, but that was only good for 9th place, so it seems like we had a very competitive first round here, Austin.
Absolutely, you may think you do well, you can kick Selmy's butt, but there's some people here who maybe Shield Surfing in their spare time.
Cole's a little bit better than Selmy, so we've seen one good go here, Morgan. When you take a look at that strategy, you think it pays off. decide to try and do something a little risky, or do you stay in that middle of the path and maybe just play a little bit safer to the chest?
Yeah, I think you still got to stay in your own lane. You know, they're going to find out a lot in this first round, sort of how they react to this kind of pressure. And, you know, I think it's less about maybe trying to win this round as just like find your own focus and just figure out where you need to be to like make it deep into this competition.
Try to survive and advance, and as a reminder, first place overall 24 points, 23 points for second place, all the way down to 24th place. You'll get 1 point. Players will have 3 minutes to finish the course. If you run out of hearts or you don't finish, you will get a 0. So we'll get our next 12 players suited up here and ready to go for their run down the mountain. But you talk about kind of getting that first taste of the championship action here, and it must be a relief for some of these players to get that first game and get a good performance under their belt.
Absolutely. Remember, some of these players have never performed for a large audience under these bright lights, so maybe they've got the shakes out of their thumbs and
and it's a very loud and encouraging audience too, which is great. Certainly brings energy up in here. It makes for an unbelievable atmosphere as well too. We're getting our next 12 players all situated, as we said, to go, and you know, we look at this first stage.
Because 16 move on, 8 go into the underground. So you back at the end of the day, you get 16th or 17th or lower. You still have a chance to come back in the underground. In top 16, you don't have to win. You just need to stay in the game.
And it's a very interesting point you make, because maybe you don't perform as well as you would like to, but then you don't have to press it necessarily when you look at these next 2 games. But players are ready for our second group of players for their run in Selmy's shield surfing. So players, are you ready? Let's go ahead and go! Taking a look at the 12 box right now, that start is very critical. We saw some of our players not even hop on the shield early on. For example, Kyle H taking a little bit of a stroll before he hops on the shield. However, Wyatt not wasting any time. And look at the top right of your screen. Wyatt already, Audrey, going down that left-hand path.
Absolutely. He's doing great, finding those jump flows, so that's probably going to make for a good time.
You've got your speedrunner Yellow Killer B on the bottom left of your 4 box right here, doing a terrific job of just sticking on the main path. Let's go ahead and switch it right here. Looks like a lot more of our competitors kind of sticking to that more traditional route here, Morgan.
Yeah, I think they may be reacting to what happened in the first round. You think, if I can just finish, all I got to do is finish, I've got something in the pocket for the next round.
This is the second set of 12 competitors in Selmy Shield Surfing as we're on the first stage of our 2017 Nintendo World Championships.
Are those boos we're hearing? No, those are moves we're hearing.
And you take a look at about a minute in right now. Kyle S. short. We'll still work on that, of course. But we know it's below 130s in that first group, so you got to start hoping you see that finish line, as we see a couple Les Alfos right there, and nobody yet is clear this finish line. We see right now going fast for more wild. Oh dear. Close as well too. The finish line though for Jeff B. Using that paraglider, and Audrey, what we saw there was not using the paraglider the whole time.
And that's a really great job. The paraglider is slow, so if you kind of
there's Wyatt.
Wyatt finishes, Jeff finishes. Why so Sarah so close? And as we mentioned, there's stiff competition. And if you think that you're going to get a high 140, maybe do well, might be tough. Asa Butterfield finishing as well too. Kyle Lake crossing the finish line, so it seems like this is having a little bit more success finding the goal here, Morgan.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I think Wyatt won that round. I believe Wyatt was our fastest qualifier in the under 12 record.
Wyatt, very impressive. AB still got some chance though. This is good for some points though, because you got a couple zeros in that first group. You can finish here, you're going to get at least 3 points.
Yeah, that's true. You just want to go for something. You don't want that zero. Just get to the end.
Oh, Layton's running out of stamina. Trying to refill that stamina, maybe some rocks, maybe some leverage, use that however, there are some points at stake. You don't have that many hearts, and you have your standard stamina bar. Make it very tough to scale some of these mountains.
Yeah, you just have that one stamina wheel, so it's going to be hard to get all the way up that mountain, but everyone's cheering for Abe.
The crowd is chanting Abe's name, trying to support Abe to the finish line to try and get some points. You can't pass up this opportunity, but 3 seconds left, unfortunately for Abe, you know it was a valiant effort. However, shield surfing can be very difficult to get and Morgan, like you said, maybe you don't do as well as you'd like to. Still got 2 more games to see how turn things around.
Not all as long as games in this first round, so this is only a third of that. And again, you just don't want to finish 17th.
Audrey, your impressions of that second group, it seems like a lot more than finished that race roughly within the same amount of time.
Yeah, we saw a lot of people making proficient use of the difficult route. They really knew where to go and how to get there quickly, so that was a really great group.
We saw great use of the paragliders. It seems like anything low 130s are going to be pretty good, but there are a lot of people in that 130 range, Morgan, so this leaderboard is going to be very interesting to see.
Yeah, just to remind everyone that people in both groups are competing against each other. So we're going to, on the back, our judges are putting all 24 of those times together, and then we're going to stack them up top to bottom.
Our judges are punching in calculators and protractors and figuring out all the math that is possible to give us a ranking right there. A live look at them. Lots of coffee and caffeine going on in that back room. Very, very hard. But so far, we saw the general skill of everybody here. I think it's safe to say we're in store for incredible championships. Looks like we're ready to take a look at our leaderboard. So where are the standings after the first game in stage 1? There's your top 24, a couple of zeros. That's okay, still plenty of room to make their way up. But Cole, Dan, Thomas, 360, Chris M, and Marco are your top 5. But keep an eye on spots 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Not a whole lot of room. Top right there, it's going to be very tight and close. So your thoughts on how bunched up we're going to be down those 15, 16, 17 spots. More we can see
I don't know, looking at this spread, it actually doesn't look too bad, because if you're looking from 17 on down, 0 to 8 points is a pretty narrow spread. So if I'm at the bottom, I maybe don't feel too bad. But if I'm Cole G, Dan S, Thomas G, 360 Marco, I feel pretty good right now.
It's such a good point, because maybe you did get a 0, unfortunately. Well, you're only 7 points away from still qualifying. And there's 2 more games left to be played in this first stage, so no reason to panic, no reason to fret it.